Hello and welcome back to the Let's Talk podcast. Now today we have something special, something very special. Today we have a potentially new co-host. His name is Headass. He goes by the name of Headass. And if he wants, he can introduce himself here.
Man, there's nothing really special to me. Like I said, I had asked. I'm happy to be here. Hopefully, this goes super well, and we can continue to do more podcasts in the future.
Yes, that's what we want here. That's really what we want here. But now today, it's not really a planned podcast. It's not like what we have in the past. But today we're just going to talk about bullshit, really, Joe Rogan style, anything we want, really, and it's going to go with the flow, I guess. So, see, what I wanted to start with was kind of COVID speculation and conspiracy theories. Now,
Right.
so the first thing that I was thinking about was the whole COVID thing itself. Like I even thought about it yesterday. I was just listening to Joe Rogan, and he had some guest on. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about they were talking about like conspiracy theories itself, and I got thinking. Do you know the way? Like I think when we started going into lockdown, it kind of gave people more time to come up with reasons to
Right.
expose
Yeah.
people, and that's how toxic it became online. It gave people reasons
It
to
gave.
expose
Yep.
larger creators. It gave them time, really, because if it was in normal time, no COVID, it gave them like they had no time. But now that it is COVID and we're in lockdown and everything, it gave them the utmost time and everything to expose as many people as they can. Like if you look through the Twitter feeds and everything, like the amount of exposing things and everything, it's just mental. It's completely mental. What do you think about it?
Because yeah, no, like you said, COVID and lockdown and everything gave people just too much time on their hands. So they just have all this time to like do their own research, but can come up with crazy conspiracy
Yeah,
theories and just go ape shit on the internet, really.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's
yeah,
crazy. Like even the who got exposed recently, it was like Pokemon. It gave them so much time
yep,
to expose
yep, the
Pokemon
Pokemon.
and stuff, and it gave so much time to expose like smaller Twitch streamers who got angry at their fans for only like not subscribing but for watching freely. Do you know about that story? Do you?
The Pokemon story, or which one?
No, not
Like the
just
smallest
Pokemon, but
fishing.
like other streamers, like people were exposing other streamers for getting mad at their fans for basically watching freely and not subscribing and saying it's
Oh
only
yes,
five
yes,
dollars.
yep.
Yeah, it kind of gave
Yeah, I know who you're
like
talking about. Yeah.
it's bad and all, but like honestly, like they can do what they want at the end of the day. They're streamers. You watch them like they can do what they want, but it's bad and all. But like honestly, you're getting the time to expose that kind of shit. Like, and sometimes it's good, at times it's good, but at times it's absolutely shocking. Like, it's just stupid. It doesn't need to be like that. Like, and
Right.
because sometimes like, you know what I mean. Like, was kind of the Keemstar and H3 beef. We talked about it. Me and my ex co-host talked about it previously. It was just crazy the way like the amount of time people had on their hands to like expose all the shit that they were doing, like expose that one of them was going after the other sponsors and all that shit. It's just crazy the way that they were
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
Like,
unnecessary. And like, I mean, just the time it took to edit those videos, and they were like, what, the Ethan's videos were like an hour long each. The amount of time that just had to go in that, and just for him to like cause like, how do I say this? Cause like a new thing where people just go after sponsors and just
yeah, yeah,
going
yeah,
at uh going at their like income is just unnecessary. I just
yeah. It's
don't see the point of it.
completely unnecessary. It's unneeded. Like, it's completely unneeded. Because that means then, like most of their like sponsors and shit is gonna pull. They're gonna pull from them, and they're gonna get no
Right,
money or
right.
nothing from it.
And it opens just the doorway just to like of other YouTubers doing the same thing.
Yeah, and then other YouTubers did. It meant that Pokemon then went on to do it to another kind
Mm,
of not so much smaller YouTuber, but like a relatively decently sized YouTuber. He had like over 100k subscribers at the time. She went after him because he made a YouTube video on her, and she went after his sponsors and
Right.
absolutely nearly killed him over it. Like nearly took away
Yeah.
all his wages and everything, all his money that he was making from YouTube from his sponsors over a stream. Like she was getting so butthurt over it. It's like you
Yep.
can't take criticism anymore. It's crazy, man.
Over comments. Yeah.
It's
What do you think? What do you think about that? Like,
like
do you
I
think that censorship? Did she try to censorship?
yeah, I feel like I feel like people like her, like people like that kind of in general that have that humor, like can't take criticism in this day and age,
Mm-hmm.
and it really pisses me off to the fact that like I'm like, can we even say anything right now, like even in this podcast, like to that won't piss off anyone, like even my ex co-host or anything or
Yeah.
something like that, like can I say anything that won't piss them off, like even this day and age, like it's just really annoying that the fact that
Yes.
we have to censor everything we say, or we have to watch everything we say, because people will get so lighthearted and people will be like snowflakes to it. That's what kind of annoys
Some
me
people
about it.
get triggered. People get triggered super easily nowadays. It's just like
It's crazy,
it
man.
limits. Yeah. It's just stupid. It makes me angry too. Like
Yeah, and like
just be able to say whatever you want.
even in real life, really, like not even just online, like even in real life, you can't say, you feel like you have to monitor what you say to not piss people off, to the fact that you might be exposed to the police or whatever, like to the fact that you might cause arguments, like physical arguments, over the fact because just because you can't say anything anymore, like, do you know what I mean? It's kind of, it's a weird one, but I don't know. It's just, I feel like we need to get over this. I feel like the kids nowadays need to be taught that what we were taught when we were younger, like the fact that like whatever we say, we shouldn't care about, like if we're hit first, we should hit back, if you know what I mean. We shouldn't care
Yeah.
about what
Yeah.
people think about what we say. Otherwise, we will live an ultimately depressing life, because kids these days need to learn everything what we learnt as kids, or like what past generations learned to kids, to be tough, to be have thick
Right.
skin, like even police in America, like you need to have thick skin and you need to have resilience so you don't lash out. Everyone needs to learn that, like whether it's going into the military, mandatory military service, or what, I don't care. We need to learn what's right and what's wrong, and what we need to lash out, and what we need to not lash out, and like that type of shit in Twitter as well. It's just horrible, man. It's just horrible. What do you think about it?
And what I think about this is I may be wrong here, but I think it's mostly the people who are very wealthy and like white countries. Because I feel like in other countries, like second world, third world countries, the regular people just don't care. They just say what they want. And they accept it. They like you said, they you get hit, they hit back.
Yeah, of
Like I feel like
course.
that's just something that's starting in like I don't know, rich Europe countries like America and stuff like that, where people are just being taught to like just I don't know, just
Yeah, I get you.
censorship.
I actually
I don't
completely
know.
get you. I completely understand you. It's literally only in the kind of developed countries. It's not because, like, if you went to
Right.
one of them, like a country like, let's say, China or India or something like that, and you said a joke like that, they wouldn't give a shit. They actually wouldn't give a shit at all. It's
It wouldn't.
because they're so used to that stuff, and they actually understand what's a joke and what's not a joke. Like, if you came here to Ireland, where I'm from, like, and if you said a joke like that, no one would care. It's because we're so used to that stuff that we don't care anymore. It's like we're used to dark humor. We know what dark humor is, and we know the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're making a joke about, like, let's say the president of America or something, dark humor, or if you're making a joke about a little kid who just passed away, yeah, that's it's completely different. Like, you know the difference between the
There's
other.
yeah.
It's just people are such snowflakes these days. They don't understand what's
People
right and
take
what's wrong.
everything too seriously.
Yes, exactly. Like if you, if I had a child and he ever went back, if he had a time machine and went back to the modern warfare lobbies and he heard what the things that people were saying to
Yeah.
each other, he would completely, he would like spontaneous combust, man. It's unreal. It's unreal, man. It's unreal.
Is it true that they're getting like on Sony and PS5 they're getting people to monitor like those
Yes,
lobby
yeah.
chat?
That's
Oh my
completely
god.
true, man. That's
Wow.
completely true. That
Wow.
because I heard about it as well, and I I actually didn't even believe it, but I gave my PS4 to my girlfriend, and I went out to my girlfriend's and I logged into my PS4 normally, and I invited one of my friends to a PS4 party, and what I seen pop up was mad. It was like, Sony can now listen into your podcast, or not your podcast, your parties, and they can hear what you're saying, something like that along the lines of that, and they can monitor what you're saying to your
Wow,
friends. It's mad. It's
that's
crazy.
like
I
that
think.
is crazy. That's. Do you think that's going into like the area of invasion of privacy?
See, I think it's on the fact that, if, let's say, if they record the PS4 parties, and if they're not needed, they won't be used. But if someone reports you saying the N word or something, they can go back into your party and they can see if you said it or not. If you know what I mean, they already
Yes.
have it pre-recorded and they can use it. But in a way, you're accepting the terms of service. But in a way, it's also invasion of privacy. If you know what I mean, like, it's weird. It's a weird one, because in a way, as I
Yeah,
said,
I don't really mean.
you're accepting their contract when you're logging into PSN, but in a way, it is an invasion of privacy, to be honest. But if, like, it's a lose lose really, like, because they know what you're saying ultimately.
And people will like stop people just as soon as you say something and like the game is not going their way or something, they will like immediately report you. I feel like that's especially the
Yeah,
case with younger kids where the parents are telling them like where their parents are basically encouraging them to like say something, even if it's
yeah,
like just a
yeah.
minimal thing.
But, like, at the same time, you're like, even these little kids today, I don't know whether they say the N word a lot or not. But I have a little brother and he plays Fortnite a lot and stuff. He's about 11 or 12. But yeah, he plays Fortnite a lot and stuff like that. But he says the F word. He says fuck. He says shit. He said all that stuff. But, like, he doesn't say the N word because he knows that that's wrong.
Right.
But I think that the children growing up these days, they have a cap on what they say, if you know what I mean. Because when we were growing up, we had Modern Warfare lobbies and we were saying God knows what. We were
Oh
saying
yeah. Oh
like
yeah.
unreal shit, man. It was unreal. But yeah, it's just, I think they have like a kind of censor to what they say nowadays. But, like, as I said, when we were growing up, we didn't. But it's just the fact that been such a light shown towards it, that we don't have that censor. We didn't have that censor, and we probably still don't have that censor these days. Just like, if we get that angry, if you know what I mean. But still, I feel like sometimes sometimes people do need to ultimately stop being such a snowflake and realize that there is humor behind every insult, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get what you mean totally.
Um,
And in real life too, I feel like hate speech. I mean, going into hate speech, like they made that like illegal in Canada, for example. Like if you say the hard R to someone, you could get like fined for that.
yeah, I
But
heard about that. I heard about
is,
that.
is it? It's here. What I'm confused on. It would just. It's wait.
Yeah,
I
I
lost my train of thought here, but
I
it's
understand what you're
just
saying.
saying something. How is that? Do you think that should be like something that you could go to jail for if you just go to the street in Canada, call someone the hard R?
That's a really good. That's actually a really, really, really good question. I actually really, really appreciate that question, because, see, some people see. I mean, I'm one of those people where I'm in between. I'm like, the hard R. If you call someone the actual hard R, definitely you should be fined for that or something like that. But also, I'm in the argument where, like, if you say it as a joke and a snowflake reports you for saying that, you shouldn't get fined for that. It's just whatever way the police or whatever interpret you saying it. That's the key, because, like, honestly, it shouldn't be a law ultimately. Like, freedom of speech is freedom of speech at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, at the same time, if someone feels the fact they're being racially abused, like properly racially abused, they should have a right to present that to the police, and which they do, which they actually do, they really do. And I don't know with the way the Canada police work towards the American police. I don't even know what way the American police work, because all I see is
Mm-hmm.
the A&E kind of episodes on YouTube. That's all I see, really. The old episodes that they had on YouTube, the A&E thing. That's all I saw. But they should work a way out where if there's derogatory racism involved, they should have a way of dealing with that apart from hate speech. If you know what I mean, I feel like there should be
Right. Yeah.
a separate kind of fine for that instead of it being in hate speech, because hate speech is literally can literally be it's so broad, like it's so broad, because you could say f you could say fuck you. I don't know why I'm saying f you because I can curse. Fuck you could say fuck you, and that could be classed as hate speech if the person really wanted to go that
Yeah.
far. That could be
Exactly.
classed as hate
Exactly.
speech, and I feel
It
like
goes into a
go on.
slippery slope. Oh, it goes into a slippery slope. Like I said, it depends on the person how they interpret it. They could just make a case, oh, this is hate speech, and it
Exactly.
might just be because I live in America or something. But I don't think hate speech should be a thing. I mean, I don't agree with that. I think it's wrong, obviously, but I feel like people should have the right to say anything, or
It
like do anything, or upload anything. Because I don't know if you heard about the incident in Germany where they taught the German Shepherd to get excited after saying like "burn the Jews, burn the Jews," and that he got
I seen that. Yeah, I
I,
seen
I
that.
think I can't remember if he got incarcerated or he got fined for it, but
I
it
think
was obviously like a joke. I don't think he was like seriously like
yeah, I seen that.
a
But
Hitler fan or like a Nazi like enthusiast.
I think in Germany I think they have a specific law about Hitler shit, because I think they were so embarrassed about it that they actually made a certain law about Nazis and Hitler shit, that if you were ever associated with something with the Nazis or Hitler, they would, I think they have a certain thing about it. I don't know if it's a fine or if it's a prison sentence, but I definitely know that it's something legal, by the way. Like it's something like that, but I don't know which one it is, and I'm not gonna assume, but I know that it is something. But yeah, I seen that, and I think he was gonna get a fine or even prison sentence, but I think they're still fighting it out. I think in court. But as you were saying, in America, you were saying it really does depend who you say it to, or else who is saying it. It depends on the person. Like if they really want to go ahead with kind of like making you go to prison or getting a fine over it, they will. But if it's someone who actually gets the humor, then you can say it all you want. But you really have to
Yeah.
be in this day and age. In this day and age, you really do have to be like you have to censor really, unless you really know the person. Like it's just crazy the way we have to do everything on a lowdown. It's just absolutely mad, man.
And especially if the person has a grudge against you or like doesn't like you for some reason, they will like be
Exactly,
looking for like the perfect opportunity just to like fuck you over.
exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
And just to clarify though, the Nazi that was from UK. I just looked it up. It wasn't in Germany.
It
It
wasn't
was
in Germany. It was in UK. Was it?
in the UK, yes. And
Oh
let's
yeah.
see,
Fair enough.
I think he got a fine. I don't think he was incarcerated, but
I know. I remember. I seen it. It was like he was like fighting in court for like 2 years, 2 or 3 years, or something over it.
yeah,
I remember it was something mad like that. But yeah, that's what I was thinking anyway about the COVID shit. Like I feel like people with this exposing shit, as my ultimate point about it, is that people have so much time now to expose people for dumb shit that they don't know what else to do. They're so invested in Twitter rants and Twitter arguments that they actually don't know what else to do with their life. And that's what's kind of making me sad about this world, like really. It's the fact that people have so much time in their hands with this lockdown that they don't know what else to do but convince others that someone else is wrong for doing something that isn't even wrong, if you know what I mean.
yeah, I get what you mean. Especially online, where people just have, I guess, uh, for like better words, just they have the balls just to say whatever they want that otherwise they weren't saying in real life.
Exactly,
You
man.
know,
Exactly. That's the exact truth, man. And like,
people feel, I don't know if safer, but they feel something that invincible. I don't know that they could just say anything online, not get like repercussions or in trouble for it, or get like, um, like
yeah,
what's the word?
they don't have to face as much
The
consequences as they do in
consequences,
real life.
exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
They just have to feel they just have to face the ban that they get in the Discord chat or something. Because I remember that girl. There was a girl yesterday in the Discord chat that we're in, the chill one, chill lounge one.
Hmm.
There was a girl in there. I actually don't want to say her name, but she was in the chat yesterday with us, and she was saying, like, she got muted because she was like, what, like 14, 13, and she kept changing her name to like the N word over and over and
Yeah,
over
yeah,
again. You know who I'm on about, do you?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah, she kept changing her name to the N word over and over and over again, and it was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you're going to get yourself banned. You might as well stop before you do something that actually breaks the pig's back. Like, if you know what I mean. That's an Irish term. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's just stupid. Like, I don't get it why people do that or why people
She
her
was
age.
she was having like the conversation with us and like by using her nickname to like say what she wanted to say.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll give her some credit for that because I would have not thought about that. I would have not thought
Yeah,
about that.
it was good, but up until she thought saying the N word over and over again was good.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But still like, saying stuff, saying derogatory stuff like that in Discord chats or Twitter
Mm-hmm.
posts is stupid, because if you were in person with that person, you wouldn't ever even dare say that to the person.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. People would just no.
Yeah, but other than that, moving on from that shite, because I don't ever want to talk about that shite again. Hopefully I don't have to. Hopefully we don't have to. Because feeling from my feelings now, I really do want you to appear on more of these episodes. I want you to be my co-host. Want to say it live on air.
Yeah, yeah, man. I'm really enjoying this. It's fun. You just get to like see what's on your mind, give
Thanks,
your
man.
opinion on things. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's
Thanks,
a
man.
great idea.
I really
A great
appreciate
thing
it.
what you're doing.
But yeah, I really want you to become head ass co-host, if you know what I mean. But yeah,
Yeah, that's co-host. Yeah, has a good ring to it, huh?
but yeah. Moving on. What I was gonna say. What are your? I want to hear most of your points on the election while I fill up my alcoholic beverage. I want to hear most of your points on this presidential election, and I want to hear everything you know about it. Cause you're the American here. I actually know fuck all, to be honest.
The elections. Oh my God. Okay, so let me just pull up the electoral map really quick.
Do ya?
So Trump, Trump was winning Pennsylvania, Georgia,
I
um,
seen that. Yeah.
Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, and then all of a sudden Biden started like passing him in votes, and now like Trump is accusing of like voter fraud, fucking people putting in votes after like the ballot was closed and stuff.
Yeah, I seen that.
Which
Yeah.
I haven't done enough like research or looked enough into it to know if it's true or not. But what I've heard the defense of like the Democratic Party is that a lot of since Joe Biden encouraged like the voters to vote via mail, then that's and then they counted those after like the in-person votes. That's what's happening,
Yeah.
and that's why he's like all of a sudden the surge in votes just going way up.
Yeah. See, I'm not. See, okay. Before I say anything, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not any supporter because I'm Irish. I don't know any. I don't know anything
Mhm.
about it. But like, I think Biden's a bit dodgy here. To be honest, I feel like what he's doing is a bit dodgy. I feel like the winning over Pennsylvania, Arizona, and all that. I feel like that was a bit dodgy because I feel like Trump should have had those states. To be honest, I feel
Yep,
like
and
he
I
should have
think
won those.
right. I was following like the electoral map thing, and in Pennsylvania, Trump was winning by like I can't remember if it was 100K votes or 200K votes. But
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, I like checked back a few hours later, and then Biden was winning by 20,000 votes, and he still is right now. And
Yeah.
I mean, Georgia was pretty even, but Trump was still winning, and now it's Biden.
I find it a bit dodgy, to be honest. See, I know the shocking story behind Biden. I know what he's been through, but I still feel like what he's doing is a bit dodgy, to be honest. Because like I feel like Trump, from what I've seen, Trump has the majority of the supporters, and I feel like if Biden wins, there's going to be some massive controversy behind it. To be honest, what do you think
Oh,
about it?
yeah, and it's already happening. It's already happening. Donald Trump's already suing the states and asking for recounts. And
Yeah,
you see, I don't like Trump either. I would rather have Joe Biden as president, but I do think it's a little bit suspicious that all of a sudden, like, the states just start
yeah,
surging with
they
Democratic
just
votes
collapse like.
and winning.
Go ahead.
It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird.
It is.
A
It's
little
like
bit suspicious.
Cause like it's like because Trump were winning those states, and then you're like, okay, Trump's definitely going to win those, and then you look back later and you're like, wait, what? Biden is winning? It's like he literally
Yep.
just crawled up out of nowhere. It's like those that one guy in your class that buys Instagram followers or Instagram likes, and you're like, what?
Hmm.
How does he get those? And then you do the investigation, you realize that he's bought those followers or bought those likes. He's bought those ballots. Like, you know, it's just weird. Like, it's just weird that he's winning
Yep.
all of a sudden.
And I feel like if somehow it's actually proven that that happened, that it's voter fraud and anything, there might be a civil war. I don't know, but
There might.
because the tension's already super high, and just voter fraud in the U.S. just for a president to win like election, I feel like that would be something huge that
Yeah,
they
because
would at least cause like riots like in the states.
if Trump magically turned this around, if he ever turned this around, it would
Oh
be
yeah.
massive. It would be. I'd say there actually would be a civil war after, to be honest with you. But if he ever did, then it would be crazy. I see. I respect Trump as a man, but I don't respect him as a president. That's the thing. And I respect Biden as a president, but from what I've heard, I'm not too sure if I respect him as a man. So it's like it counteracts itself, to be
Hmm.
honest, for me as an Irish person. Cause
No, I
go
feel
on.
yeah, no, I get what you mean. There's respect for like I don't know about respect. You have dignity for the person, I guess, but respect is something I feel like that you earn. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course.
obviously, yeah, yeah, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I don't really know because you have respect for him or dignity as a person, so you wouldn't like talk shit about him or like degrade him as a person, but you also wouldn't respect him
Yeah,
as a person. Like I don't know. It's a little contradictory, like you said. It's weird.
yeah. Cause I know, like in Ireland, see, it's a really bad thing to say, but we kind of respect the person most. Whoever has most ties with Ireland, we kind of respect the most, which is like a bad thing to say, but it's the truth. And
It's the truth. Yeah.
they both have such strong ties to Ireland. Biden has like comes here like every year, every 2 year, like twice a year, nearly every year, and that's the thing. We respect them over that, and we also respect over what happened to him, like over his family and everything. Do you know the story? Do you about Biden?
No, I don't know. I don't know much about his story. I'm gonna
Uh,
be honest with you.
would you like me to
I
explain?
know. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it, man.
From what I know, I'm not gonna assume shit like, but from what I know, it's the fact that I think he was running as a some sort of politician or something like that in America, and he got a call one day in like the 80s or 90s that his wife and his two daughters died in a car crash because they were out doing the Christmas shopping, and they died in a car crash. I think a drunk driver like demolished them or swiped them off the road and absolutely got him into a bad wreck and killed them. And then he had to take care of his two sons by himself. He had to raise his two sons by himself. And then recently, his one of his sons passed away with cancer, and now he has only one left. And I think the other
Yeah.
one has something wrong with him as well. So he has a lot and a lot and a lot of kind of sadness on his
Suffering.
shoulders,
Yeah.
suffering on his shoulders. But then Trump is like, and then I've seen people, American people, that are like, you can't let someone win just because you feel bad for him. And I'm like, yeah, I get that.
Hmm.
I actually really do get that. But then you're like, he's had so much suffering. We can't just literally just let him lose. Like, I could send he'll be letting down people. I don't know. I don't know. It's just such a hard thing to do. Like, because in Ireland we massively respect religion and stuff. And like, if someone loses a loved one, then you're like, oh, okay, we feel bad for him. We want to give him the world, like really. And
Hmm.
with Biden, we're like, okay, his family members passed away, so we have to show him the utmost respect here, really. If you know what I mean.
No, I get what you mean, and if this connects back a little bit of what we were saying before, about people being snowflakes and stuff.
Yeah,
Like people feel bad, in kids especially, for sport. It's you get participation medals without actually like you don't win, you still get
exactly,
like a participation medal. But once you get into the real world, like there are no participation medals. You either get the job or you don't get the job, for example.
exactly,
And
exactly.
yeah, I feel like that's also like a huge reason of why people just expect stuff. just to be given to them and expect like a participation medal, I guess.
Yeah, especially man, that's actually such a good point. That's actually like an amazing point that I didn't even come up with myself, man. Thank you. That's such a good point. Like it's the fact that young people these days, as you said, are getting participation medals. I can't even say it myself for just competing in events that they lose in, that they come last in.
And doing nothing. Yep.
It's so horrible.
Start becoming soft.
And then the kids that came first and second that actually completely grinded out their youth to get to that place.
Hmm.
Like they feel so disappointed in themselves. They feel so like they've lost even, because people
Right.
that have lost race came last, dead last. They're getting participation medals for
Hmm.
doing nothing, for doing completely nada, for doing nothing, and it's horrible. It's horrible to see. Even with me, when I was playing football, soccer, even sorry, football is an American term, but soccer, yeah, as you know it over there, soccer, like I actually completely grinded it one year to get one of the best trophies you could get in a team. It's the player of the year. It means that you're the best player in the whole season, and I got that. But then one fella got most improved player, and I was like, if I'm getting player of the year, why should someone else get most improved for improving the most? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. It will never make sense to me that why someone gets most improved for improving what I'm getting. I'm out here grinding for player of the year, if you know what I mean. It's just stupid. It's so stupid.
It is. It's very unfair, and it just makes the kids just
I mean,
soft. It makes them stop. They don't know how to deal with loss. They
yeah,
expect a reward either way.
yeah. They expect everything to be brought to their plate, but yeah, yeah. I think that's that subject kind of done. But there's another thing. Moving on to a weirder note, kind of a more scarier note for me. Have you ever? Do you watch a bit of Netflix? Do you watch any Netflix recently?
Uh, I ended my Netflix account because I wasn't really using it. But yeah, I watched a
Yeah,
couple of those Netflix shows. I don't
yeah,
know if you're talking about one in specific, but
yeah. I've started watching a show called the Haunting of Hill House. I'll put it up on
the
screen.
haunting,
Put it up. I'll put it up on screen in the edit for people that don't know what I'm on about. But it's called the Haunting of Hill House. Have you seen this? Headass
haunting of
Hill House.
no, no. I thought
No,
you were talking about the haunting of Flea Manor for a second, but
no,
I
no,
think
no.
that's a different one.
It's literally that is the same thing, but it's like the Haunting of Hill House is the prequel to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, I didn't know it had a prequel.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's what came. That's what came first, and then the Haunting of Bly Manor came second. But the Haunting of Hill House, trust me, man, it's fucking scary. It is so scary. Um,
Oh yeah.
like I I've been getting like really bad dreams, like really horror dreams for the past month or two of my life, and it's horrible. Like I've only started watching that like 2 or 3 days ago, and they've really amped up my horror dreams. It's ridiculous how much they've kind of amped up and made me more kind of scared of what they can do. Really, to be honest. Uh,
Yeah, I remember this is also a topic in the prequel, but what scared me the most is just of them going back into like their memories or being tucked away in their memories and just reliving the same moment over and over and over. That is
yeah.
the part that just freaks me out the most. Just being stuck in a place and time and just reliving it, and no, like being aware, especially that I'm reliving this and like how do I get out of it? How do I stop this?
Yeah, of
Just like a
course.
deja vu. It creeps me out. That creeps me out the most.
And then you're like, oh god, cause I got a dream recently where I was like inside a dream, inside a dream, inside a dream. So it was like Inception on Inception. And then I woke up in the dream that I was inside of. Then I woke up inside that dream, inside the dream that I was in. Then I woke up real life, and I was like, am I alive? Am I actually alive? Like, and then it was just
Yeah,
horrible. And like, have you ever gotten, what's it called? It's where you're like in a sleep state, but your mind is awake, but your body isn't. What's it called? Isn't it's called
sleep paralysis.
sleep paralysis? Have you gotten that?
Oh yeah, I used to. Oh my god, dude! I had this one time I had sleep paralysis that was so like fucking scary. So
Yeah,
I had like woken up like I thought and I couldn't move. I was like, all right, I'm having sleep paralysis because I've had it like a couple times before that. So I was just
yeah,
kind of waiting. Then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, I still can't move. Like what's happening? It should be about time. And then in my hallucination, or I don't know what it was, I just started like crawling through the floor and I could feel the like the rug of the floor and I could feel like I could hear myself screaming. I could see like my parents. I could hear them talking. I was just screaming for help, and then all of a sudden, I was back in like my bed and just like still
yeah.
with sleep paralysis. Dude, that was so scary.
I got it
I
once.
hate sleep.
Oh, go on, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm done with you. Go ahead, bro.
Um, I got it once where I was like in my girlfriend's bed because me and my girlfriend were sleeping together at the time, and I was in her bed and I was like sitting there and I was like lying on my left side as if like let's say you're curled up in a ball and you're in the bed, you're lying on your left side on your left shoulder, looking towards the wall, and the door was also on the left side if you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
and then my eyes open by the way, and then by that time, and I'm just like sitting there and I'm hearing really, really loud, and I mean really loud footsteps coming up the stairs.
Oh yeah.
And now my girlfriend would have this dog, right, where the dog would like bark and bark and bark and bark, like if anyone was even at the door, not even near the door. If someone walked past the door, so the dog would bark and bark and bark. And I couldn't hear the dog at all, like even barking at this random person who's like running up the stairs. So I instantly thought it's my girlfriend's dad because my girlfriend's dog
Yeah.
knows that it's my girlfriend's dad. And I was like, no, he doesn't stomp that loud. And this guy now was stomping up the stairs. And then the guy stomps up the stairs, and for some reason I start saying like the Our Father prayer and the Hail Mary prayer in my head, and I'm like, fuck, Hail Mary, full of grace, Lord be with me, Our Father who art in heaven, and then uh. It gets to the top of the stairs, looks in the door, and it's like a fucking shadow figure with like a weird
Oh
fucking.
man.
And it's fucking mad. It looks in the door at me, and it looks
Right.
at me,
Oh.
and then I wake up screaming, and I hear my girlfriend's baby sister like screaming, crying in the next room, cause she also got a dream, but I don't know what it was, and I'm kind of
Right.
trying to put together in my head whether it was the same dream or not, cause she woke up at the exact same time as me and started crying.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's they sound like dreams, but you know you're awake because you like you've woken up. You're like, okay, it's just sleep paralysis, but everything just sounds like a dream. You just start like I don't know if it's your mind playing tricks on you or actually like something happens that opens like the door to like the
Exactly,
other
man.
world or something. But
I don't want to delve straight into this, like straight into this other world shit, but because I feel like that's like a whole topic for another podcast for us too. But
yeah,
for now, I feel like what I'm gonna end it off on this topic is like there definitely is another world that we don't know about, like the supernatural world. But other than that, I'd say we should just leave it there because I feel like this shit should be cut
come
off
back to this
for
another time. Yeah.
yeah, for a really good kind of haunting podcast for Christmas and shit. But for now, what am I going to talk about? Have you seen? Have you seen? Do you watch any sports? You?
I mainly watch MMA and college wrestling. Those
Yeah,
are my two favorite sports that I like to keep up with. Other than that, I don't really watch other sports. I mean, I kind of know like obviously like the main players of like football and like main players of soccer, but
yeah.
other than that, no idea.
Have you watched UFC or anything like that?
Yes, yes.
Have you seen Khabib when he was fighting? He was fighting uh
KG
yeah, that guy.
or
Yeah, and he retired instantly after for his dad, and I actually thought that was mad. That was crazy that he did that.
you know,
I was watching the fight with the lads. My friends from school. We were watching on Discord together, and because my friend had a stream to it, and we were watching it together, and we seen it. We were like watching the build up to the fight, all the undercards and everything. And it was crazy, but and then when we got to the fight, or like we're like, oh yeah, he's gonna get to the 30th fight and then he's gonna retire. But then he retired at the 29th fight, and we were like, oh, what the fuck? Why didn't he
Right,
go to the
20,
30th fight?
29. 29 is a prime number, man. It has to be an
I know,
even number.
man.
Oh,
Such an odd
and
number.
it is. And knowing, oh, well, I'm not saying I know Khabib obviously, but from what I've seen, him making like a promise to his mom and to his dad, that he's retiring and not fighting again. I don't think he's coming back, sadly.
Yeah.
And that Khabib St. Pierre fight, oh, I would have loved to see that fight. Two
Yeah,
goats going off in the ring, man. That would have been a legendary fight.
yeah. But I respect him for doing it, like, but and I actually, to be fair, I actually dislike Conor McGregor and all that stuff because I feel like he's too kind of cocky, to be honest, for me. But if he comes back as a different
Hmm.
person or as a changed person that is not too cocky, then I won't mind. I won't mind him. But I really like a boxer now. She's from Ireland. She's called Katie Taylor. She's so humble. She's so amazing. She's so good at boxing as well. She's the women's world champion at the moment. She beat a load of
For
people.
boxing.
Yeah, for boxing. She's the best in the world for women's at the moment, and no one wants to challenge her. She's such a beast. She's so dedicated to her craft. It's unbelievable, man. It's so crazy. But other than that, yeah, Conor McGregor isn't for me really, like, to be honest. And
So you don't like Conor McGregor. I mean, I don't like I don't like his cockiness, but he is very entertaining. I like watching his interviews and stuff like that because he makes them
yeah,
entertaining, you know.
yeah, of course,
But
yeah, of course. That's also a respecting part about him, but he he's just a bit too overwhelming for me, if that's the right word to use. He's
mhm,
just a bit too overwhelming in the fact that I can't sit down and watch him for a while because he's just, for as an Irish person, you're literally not bred cocky. You're nice. You be nice, like, be nice and get nice back. You give respect, you get respect, and that's how it works. But with
right,
him,
and
he he gets respect. He wants respect no matter what, and it doesn't matter whether you're Khabib or whatever. Like, it's unreal. Like,
I mean, I think he has respect as a fighter, but not as a person, if that makes sense.
yeah, exactly. That makes a lot of sense. But are you want to say more? Do you?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if he does like or talks the way he does or makes the shows the way he does because for the business like aspect or if he's actually like that and 100% believes everything he says, you know? Is he
Yeah.
doing it for the show? Is he doing it for the business to bring in the money, or is he actually like that cocky and that like high ego
Yeah. Of course.
in real life and all the time?
Because, like, I've seen a lot of stories about him. I think he cheated on his wife twice. I think something like that. And his wife literally stuck with him through, not like from when he was nothing, like from when he
Hmm.
was dirt, like, and she stuck with him through everything, like, and he had 2 kids with her, or something like 2 3 kids with her, and he went off and cheated on her. But I think they're back together now or something like that. But that's what kind of turned me off him because I have a girlfriend myself. I'm with her 4 years, and I respect our relationship like with all my heart, and I would never do anything to hurt her if I ever got any bit famous. But it's just the fact that he
Hmm.
did that is what kind of turned me off him, to be honest. It's like the lack of respect he has for the people that were with him since the beginning is what kind of annoys me, really.
So would you say that fame changed him?
Yeah,
If
fame
he was
definitely changed him.
different, but then. Mhm.
As a as a as a kind of loyal person, fame definitely changed him.
Yeah, I think that too. I mean, I don't know if he how he was before like the UFC,
Yeah,
but I feel like just being involved in the UFC, being in that area, and just the fame that he was getting, just completely like changed him. Same. I don't know. John Jones.
oh
I feel like
yeah.
just that feeling of being unstoppable just completely like
Yeah,
changed him as a person.
of course, yeah, of course. But anyway, moving on from that, um, Headass, why don't you explain to us about you? What are you up to really these days? Explain about your kind of lifestyle, if you're comfortable to do so. If not, we can move on to
Oh
a
yeah,
different topic.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind sharing a little bit. Well, So I turned 20 like last week, exactly a week ago actually, and since quarantine locked out, I lost two of my three jobs because like I was
Oh,
obviously the most inexperienced person in there.
yeah,
I've just been doing like kind of like online school, like for a couple shifts in at the
yeah,
gymnasium because
yeah,
I still have like my job as a lifeguard.
yeah,
And other than that, no, it's kind of just school, going into like a little bit of work, and there's not much to it. It's kind of been really boring lately.
yeah. It's been kind of everything really, like, cause it's the same with me really. But fortunately, my job has been kept open because I'm classed as an essential worker really. So my job has been kept open. I work in a hardware store, so everyone needs hardware apparently
Hmm.
during lockdown.
Right.
But yeah, apparently I'm classed as an essential worker, so I get to still earn my wages, fortunately. But yeah, everything it's kind of different in Ireland, though. To be fair, compared to America, so I feel like you have a lot more people to worry about than we do. We have only what 4 million people, 7 million, whatever it is, and you've what like 100 million, 200 million, something like that, nearly a billion. I don't know. I actually don't know, to be honest. What you say your population is in America?
I think it's about 360 million, something about there. Let me
Jeez,
just look it up.
that's like
And
354 times or
it's in 2019 it was 328 million
yeah, it'll be around that. So I
population
suppose.
in America. And it would have like I feel like a lot of stuff would just be better here if like it was handled better, like the COVID situation. I mean, the U.S. is still leading like the world cases with I think like 10 million cases.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah,
see,
yeah.
yeah,
I feel like
10 million cases.
if ye and us really, because we have a bad leader as well. If ye had a better leader in the White House, you would have had sustained this COVID shite a lot better. And it's the same with us really. Because look at Sweden, look at New Zealand. They never went into lockdown. All those Scandinavian countries, they didn't go into lockdown. And look at them, they're flying it. They have no COVID cases at all. They're even opening up stadiums and everything to fans and everything,
Hmm.
because they don't have any stuff like that. Like they don't have any COVID cases or anymore because they got rid of it because they didn't go into lockdown. They left everything open. They
Right.
left everyone have the responsibility of doing whatever they wanted. It's just crazy.
And, okay, going into a bit of like a conspiracy about COVID, do you think it was manufactured in Wuhan, China, or like an economic like biological war to like bring down rich countries,
Yeah,
like affect them in a super like heavy way?
I don't believe in that, but I don't believe anything really. I just the most logical thing that I've heard is that they've made it to control the population, and that they kind of made a spiral out of case by accident or something like that, and that it's spread throughout the world, and that our world leaders know what's going on, but they won't tell any of us. And it's been like that with everything else, even with the CIA confidential cases and everything. All the
Oh yeah,
conspiracy theories
those.
behind them, they've had loads of stuff behind them, and they haven't released anything. Do you know all the conspiracy theories that turned out to be true behind the CIA and all that stuff? It's mad, man. It's mad.
Yeah, it's so amazing just the amount of things they are hiding. But also at the same time, I think that it's for the better because I feel like people would just absolutely panic and get out of control and just huge chaos if
Yeah,
something like were to say like, yep, if for example the CIA were to say, yep, there's alien in Area 51, like the world would go absolutely crazy.
they
It
would.
would be absolute chaos.
Of course they would. People wouldn't be able to handle the truth, and it's like, why do people want to know the truth? They won't be able to handle the truth. Like, cause I feel like the American government and our government and the English government are hiding so much shit that we
Oh
don't
yeah,
know about,
for sure.
that we don't need to know about, because it's so that we won't even believe it, to be honest. Because like the top three leaders of this world, I really believe, are the UK government, the US government, and Ireland's government. Because like in Ireland, we possess so much shit that is beyond the US belief, the UK belief, anyone else. We have so much shit in this country that literally no one knows about at all. It's never been released to anyone, and that's what some of us locals know as well because of it. It's just mad that it's never, most of the shit here, the conspiracy theories here has been never been released, and it's the same in the UK and America, if you know what I mean. Like,
You know, like earlier today, I was watching this Alex Jones like infiltration of the Bohemian Grove. I don't know if you know what that is, but
yeah,
um, like this basically this uh elite club of like all the high government people from all over the world that just take all the decisions. And like if you watch like a small clip on YouTube or something, it's a cult. It looks like a cult. They're like wearing like masks and costumes and stuff, and just like burning something like at a campfire and stuff.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
really makes me think like are those like conspiracy theories like about like the rich controlling like everything that's really true, like the powerful making all the decisions and stuff. Just
Like, did you ever see
it's
the
just kind of scary to think about sometimes.
Did you ever see the thing about Epstein, about his island? Like he flew in. I listened to this on a Joe Rogan podcast as well. Shout out to him. He was talking. He was saying like he flew in so many. Epstein flew in so many like popular people at the time, like the U.S. president at the time, Bill Clinton. He flew in him to his private island. He flew in a load of like proper like famous people to his island, like powerful people to his island, to basically like bang 15-year-old girls and everything.
Right.
And when Epstein was sent to prison for it, he was killed because he was wanted to keep private by these powerful people that actually did bang the 15-year-old girls. That was a conspiracy
Yeah.
that people believed at the time, that people like thought was logical, and that's what I think is logical as well. I believe that Epstein didn't kill himself.
Oh, I believe it. I believe that. There's no way he just like, and they put him in like a super like if it was like such a high profile case, like you would think they would put him like at a safe prison or
Yeah,
like a safe
exactly.
holding, but no, they
Did
put him in the worst like prison or like cell in New York.
Did you see who he was paired up with in his prison cell? He was like this massive buff guy that was in prison with him. He was massive. He was so big. He was like, his arms were
Yeah.
like apparently the size of fucking like boulders or something. I don't know. He was massive. I'll try pull up a photo of him in the edit there as well. He was massive, man. It's unreal. But yeah. Other than that, like apparently in the autopsy as well from the whatchamacallit, the guy who does it, he said that it wasn't a hanging because it would have been higher up on his neck. It was and it would have
Mhm.
broke his neck as well. It was a strangulation because it was lower down on his neck, if you know what I mean. And
Right. Yeah.
and there was so many points towards the fact that he didn't kill himself. He was murdered. There were so many points towards that as well. But what brings me back about him is just his island. Like the amount of shit that could have went on with underage girls there. It's just mad
Oh
if you
yeah.
think about it. It's completely
Unbelievable.
mad. Mm.
Just goes to show like the power of money, even if it's like a wealthy country where like you like think that justice is, no matter the person, it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Like money is gonna protect you to like a very good extent. Money and power,
yeah,
especially in third world countries. But it's amazing that in countries like well developed like the U.S. and like the U.K., it's just money can still like, get you out of trouble
I know. It's
and
completely.
hide so much stuff.
It's crazy. It's completely crazy. It's the fact that like, if you're a billionaire, you can do anything you want. Really, you can
Oh yeah.
from traveling the world to torturing people to doing this and that. Like you can do so much stuff to anyone. Really, you can do whatever you want. You can convince underage girls to go to your island. You can
Mhm.
bang them in your island. It's just crazy. Like you, it's just the fact that if you have money, you're sorted. Really, in this day and age as well, Jeffrey
Oh
Epstein or
yeah.
not, it's just crazy to think about it. Because like if you think about it, Donald Trump could have done whatever he wanted during this lockdown, and no one would have known about it. He could have done whatever he wanted
Hmm.
to a country, and no one would have known about it. He could have convinced a country to go into lockdown when they didn't need to, and no one would have
Right.
known about it. Excuse me. And he could have even convinced Ireland to go into lockdown, and no one would even know about it because we didn't need to. Sure, look at us. We've only had, I think it was something like some certain thousand like number of deaths in Ireland, and only something like 110,000 cases out of 4 million. It's a lot, but still, it's nothing compared to the suicides and flu cases we've had, and no one cares about them. It's just coronavirus this, coronavirus that,
Right.
and then the lead scientists in the world then are saying that countries shouldn't have actually went into lockdown. But then they're being criticized so hard that there's these scientists killing themselves
Hmm.
because they've came out and said the truth. It's like they're scared to do it because there's this propaganda against the truth by
Oh
these
yeah.
big politics, and it's crazy. This big conspiracy is crazy. Like,
And that's the thing. Money silences like the majority, if not all of people. Because even if you know like, okay, what he's doing is bad, if you get offered like a good amount of money, like, people will take the money. And that's, and
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Right? If I saw, for example, like someone rob a bank and like I'm eyewitness, I recorded it with my phone and like the assailant said, "All right, I'll give you $5,000 if you delete the video." I don't know what I would do because I've never been put in that position. I would like to say no because I have like my morals and I know that that's wrong, but
yeah,
at the same time, like I don't know what I would do, you know.
exactly. It's like,
And I feel like no one would know what to do unless you're put in the exact same like situation or position.
no, see, that's the thing. No one really does know. Really, no one knows anything. Like, no one knows what to do in any situation. Because with this, even if this coronavirus thing was real, no one knows what to do or what to say or what to do anything because it's such a
Hmm.
new thing. It's the fact that we're going into a second lockdown. It's the fact that now that we know what we've dealt with already, and we know what to do already. Because the
Hmm.
first lockdown, everything was so weird, everything was so like different, and now we know to check up on our friends, check up on our family, which you should do right now if you're listening to this. Check up on our friends, check up on our family, because you don't know what they're going through. Because the suicide rates have been exponential. Like it's been
Yeah, that's
crazy. It's been crazy the amount of suicides and mental illness. We need to focus on that really during this. It's just crazy. We don't need to focus on coronavirus as much as we do on mental health and everything that
hmm
goes with this. Because even with my like with my kind of last final grades in school, like my final exams before I went on to college in high school, whatever you call it over there, we got predicted grades, so it was kind of fecked for us, and that kind of put most of us into really bad spirals of mental health. And no one cared about it. No one from the government or in anyone cared about it. No one listened to us, and that's what spiraled us into mental health issues and everything else. Because we didn't know where our life was going to go, because we couldn't get college courses because of our bad grades, and
right.
that's what made us kind of depressed over it, and that's what fucked us over.
And yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like lockdown just affected everyone's mental health to a certain extent, and then to the media controls what they give to the public. They don't like to focus on that. They just give you
Exactly.
statistics and make you like they give you what they want you to like focus on. I don't know if that's making sense, but
Yeah, yeah, I get you. I
they,
get you.
they control they control what they control the news. I don't know.
Yeah, and even the
I don't know.
and even the kind of medicine world, they control everything. If you think about it, they control everything. Because if you're sick, you need to go to them. If you're not sick, you don't
Hmm.
go to them. But if you're clinically sick, you die, and you die without it. And if you're sick, you die without it, because you need to go to them either way if you're sick. So they control the world. They give you what they want to give you. So if you're sick, they give you a placebo, if you know what I mean, to kind of make you feel
Yeah.
feel like you're feeling better, so they can control you with tablets and shit. I don't know. this is a topic now that I've heard from a lot of people, that what I just said there as well, that people are getting these placebo tablets from doctors so they can monitor what you're doing and when you're doing it. So it's like it goes towards a kind like a data kind of collecting thing, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
It's just weird. It's completely weird. But yeah, this whole world is kind of weird, and we have indeed reached our 1 hour point, so we can start finishing off this podcast. So yeah, whenever you want, we can finish this off. If you have anything else to say, you can go ahead and say it.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment of what you just said. I've actually never heard about that. Actually, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That kind of blew my mind a little bit.
like I'm just going to speak a bit more about it now before we end. It's just the fact that like they can give you any tablets they want to give you,
Hmm.
and they can put anything else in those tablets that they want to put in those tablets,
Yeah,
and
you
without
would
you
believe
knowing.
him because you trust him.
Yeah, well, you trust them, and they know what they're
Hmm.
doing as well. Like it's just crazy the way you can be controlled in that sense as well. But yeah, we're probably gonna end that in this podcast here. We hope you enjoyed, and I'm glad I introduced you I'm glad I introduced you to Headass. He's been such an amazing co-host to this podcast, and I'm definitely going to look to convince him to get on a lot more after this if he's up for it. If he
No, man, you've been a great host. I really enjoyed this. I would definitely like to do this again.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
I hope I didn't do too bad. But
No, don't worry about it, man. You're going to get the role. You're getting the role. I don't give a shit. You're getting the role co-host. You're getting the role co-host. You've been
I
amazing, man.
appreciate it, man.
You've been incredible, man, and I appreciate it. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. See you later.